Rescued. William and Biff were playing with the bubble kit. Suddenly, the magic kit began to glow. Where will the magic take us this time? Asked William. The magic took them to a flat, rocky place. There were no trees. They could see high mountains around them. There's nothing here, said William. Why has the magic kit brought us here? Suddenly, they heard the sound of an aeroplane. They both looked up. William pointed. There's a plane, he shouted. I think it's trying to land. It's an odd place to land a plane, said Biff. I hope it can land safely. The aeroplane flew round in a circle. It flew near the ground. Then it touches down. The plane bounced on the rough ground. It bumped on the rocks and stones. William held his breath. I think it's going to crash, he said. Then one of the wheels hit a boulder. There was a crunch as the wheel broke off. The plane spun round and stopped. One of the wings was ripped off. Biff and William ran to the plane. I hope the pilot isn't hurt, said Biff. The pilot climbed out of the wrecked plane. She looked at the torn-off wheel and broken wing. Biff and William raced up. The pilot took off her goggles and looked at them. I know you, said Biff. It was Princess Elisa. Biff and William had met her before in another adventure. Oh, it's you again, said Alicia. Why are you here? Asked Biff. My sister Lisa has been kidnapped. I've come to rescue her, said Alicia. Will you help me? Asked Alicia. There's no time to waste. We have to find my sister and bring her home safely. How will we do that? You don't have a plane now? Asked Biff. I will think of something, said Alicia. They set off. They came to a cliff. Alicia climbed up. Next, she helped Biff. Then she let down the rope to William. Now it's your turn, William. Tie the rope round your waist and come up slowly. This is scary, said William. At last they came to some buildings up on a cliff. There were thick walls and heavy doors. That's where Lisa is, said Elisa. How will you get her out of there? Asked Biff. I'll think of something, said Elisa, but don't let the guards see us. Elisa put her hands together. She blew into them to make a noise like a bird. Then they saw someone wave from a window. There she is, said Alicia. She could hear me. We can't climb up there, said William. No, she'll have to climb down, said Alicia. Alicia told Biff and William to watch out for the guards. She tried to throw a rope up to Lisa. At first, she could not throw it high enough. She tried again and again. At last, Lisa managed to catch the rope. Suddenly, Biff and William heard a shout. Someone's coming, said Biff. What shall we do? Try to stop them, said Alicia. How? Asked Biff. She was in a panic. You'll think of something, said Alicia. William had an idea. He remembered the bubble kit and began to blow bubbles. The bubbles floated towards the man. They had never seen such a huge bubbles before. They chased after the bubbles and tried to pop them. Lisa dropped to the ground. William blew one more, stirring of bubbles. Now run, he said. They ran quickly. See, I knew you'd think of something. At first they thought they had got away. Then William looked back. The men were chasing them. They saw a lorry. I tried to start it, said Elisa. You stopped the man. How do we do that? Asked Biff. You'll think of something, said Elisa. There was a pile of tires in the lorry. Biff had an idea. Roll the tires onto the road, she shouted. They rolled the tires down the road. The tires bounced towards the man. Elisa started the lorry. Hold on tight, she shouted. Biff, William, and Lisa cheered as the lorry rolled away down the road. The road was very steep and narrow. The lorry jolted and bumped over the rough rocks and loose stones. Hang on, shouted Elisa. Be careful, shouted Lisa. We don't want to end up in the river. Suddenly, the road started to slip away. It was sliding into a valley below. Look out, shouted Lisa. There's a landslip. The road is slipping down the hill. Elisa tried to stop the lorry, but it was too late. The lorry began to slide down into the valley. It went faster and faster, crashing over rocks. Oh no, shouted William. We are heading straight for the river. Hang on, shouted Elisa. The lorry stopped on the edge of the river. The front wheels were hanging over the river bank. Phew, said Elisa. We're lucky we didn't crash into the river. Now, what shall we do? Asked Biff. I don't know, said Elisa, but we'll think of something. Biff and Lisa looked back toward the road. In the distance, they could see the man coming. We need to think of something quickly, said Lisa. Those men will be here soon. William found some more tires in the back of the lorry. He had an idea. We can float down the river in these tires, he said. We just have to blow them up. Elisa looked in the back of the lorry and found a pump. She began to inflate the tires. She pumped up the last one just in time. The children each sat on a tire. Elisa pushes them out into the river one by one. She jumped onto the last tire just as the man clambered down the water. Ha! Too late, she shouted. The four of them floated downstream on the tires. They moved quickly down the fast-floating river. Then the river got narrow. The river began to flow faster. They could see foaming water ahead. This is scary, said Biff. What if there's a waterfall ahead? Don't worry, said Elisa. We'll think of something. The water rushed and rolled past them. The tires bucked and bumped through the water as they went faster and faster. Hang on tightly, shouted Elisa. It won't last long. I'm getting wet, said William. At least there isn't a waterfall, said Biff. At last, they floated into the calm water. Biff looked down the river. She saw a boat coming towards them. Oh, help, she shouted. It looks like there's a man again. Now what shall we do? Elisa and Lisa left. We are back safely in my kingdom now, said Elisa. These are my people. She shook everyone's hand. I think we're the first to arrive in your kingdom on tires, laughed William. The men said they would take Elisa and Lisa home to their palace. They had prepared some camels for them. The key is glowing. It's time to go, said Biff. We want to be able to ride on a camel. Goodbye, thank you for your help, said Elisa. Goodbye, said William. That was an exciting adventure, said Biff. I like Princess Elisa. She's fun. Chip came into Biff's room. Shall we go outside to play? He asked. What shall we play? Asked Biff. You'll think of something, smiled William. The end.